I realized I haven't done cards in a hot minute, so let's get started. Oh, I got this new it's like a CBT deck. Let's start with that one. Wait, I hope everybody's having an amazing day. I'll get it started. Okay, let's see what's up. Analysis to paralysis. I guess this is under anecdotes for anxiety. While there is no such thing as thinking too much, there is such a thing as thinking too much about a particular thing. Give up your need to be perfect. Recognize that your 70% is likely better than most people's 100%. Overanalyzing slows you down and stresses you out. Remember that perfection is the enemy of excellence. What? Actually, this is really interesting because it shows up a lot in both like psychology and kind of spiritual type of stuff, which is when we are all up in our brains thinking, which is, that me, it me. Often that means that we are identifying with our ego. So a lot of times the thoughts that we think are reflective of our belief systems. So anyone who's got like an analysis paralysis situation happening generally is going to be operating under the belief system that if they perfectly analyze what's going to happen, they will always make the correct right choice and that bad things won't happen. It's a self-preservation mechanism. And it is why I like my child's father. He absolutely will get just totally shut down and not be able to make a decision. And that's because he doesn't want to make the wrong one. When, conceptually speaking, not making a decision is a decision. Typically is going to be the wrong one. But anyway, all right, let's move to the next one. This says, be the body. Abiding as the body draws you into the present moment, reduces stress, increases mindfulness, and lowers the sense of self so that you can take life less personally. That's so interesting that we just went from thinking too much to be in your body, be present in the moment. A lot of anxiety is going to be thinking about future events and being afraid of what's going to happen or what might happen. And a lot of the trauma that we carry is based on thinking about or remembering or processing things that have happened. So it's a lot of like future or past stuff and not being in the moment. I want to say it's like mindfulness people that are about that idea of flow. Like when we're in a state of flow, like our brains, our brains are finally quiet. We're just in this complete perfect moment with the wholeness of ourselves. I typically find that with dancing. That's where I find that. But some people, that meditate or I like swimming. Like swimming will definitely put me there. But sometimes the jewel moments of our lives are those moments when we're so in the moment that our brains have turned off and we're just experiencing. So I like the idea that we went from thinking too much to just be in your body, experience what's happening. And that is a really wonderful way to live, when you can. Let's see. Empower yourself. I love this deck. Tune in to your personal power. You are more than able to handle the situation facing you. Allow yourself to be the strong, beautiful person you are capable of being. Oh, man. Cards like these are written not for people that have deep, deep issues with how they see themselves. Because if you're I'm not capable of being a strong, beautiful person. So that's kind of, you're reading something that's challenging your view of yourself, let's say. When you're like, a strong, beautiful person, stop it. But that is an example of because like not all future projecting thinking is a bad thing. That's a lot of how we get motivation. Gosh, this is very cerebral, y'all. Sorry. Just did a video about like evidence and paradigms and thinking, and now we're all cerebral again. Oh, okay. This is the legendary affirmation card. It says, I contribute and add value to the world every day. Now, if you read this and you don't feel like it's true, you're like, well, I don't add value to the world. A lot of suicidal people, that's an element of why they feel that way, is that they don't feel that they add value to the world. So sometimes our evidence is bad, right? Talking about the other video. Sometimes our evidence is bad and we are adding value to the world, and we're not paying attention to that, or our definition of what value is or what has value is correct or needs to be modified. Or it could be, I don't add value to the world. Well, then why would the conclusion be to end it? The conclusion might be to shift what you do so that you do add value. Now, I'm not saying that that's the answer. Typically, when you're in that situation, you have to get to a point where you got to rebuild some core beliefs that we were supposed to get in childhood. Erickson's first stage of development is the trust stage, like when you're an infant, that when you have needs, people will come meet them. And you don't have to be anything. You don't have to be valuable. You don't have to be anything to deserve someone to come and meet your needs and take care of you. So when we're dealing with like that kind of core inner wound, and we bring it forward, and it's coming with us into our future, into our adulthood, where we didn't learn that we're a human being, and just existing is enough to know that we deserve to be loved, to be recognized by other people. And it doesn't mean that like a specific person, accepting parents, like that's literally your fucking job. But generally speaking, it's not a specific person's responsibility to love us. But it doesn't mean that we do not deserve that as a human being. Part of being in the world as a human being is being a part of humanity. A part of humanity is being seen as a person, as being loved, that you don't have to be deserving to be treated with dignity and respect. So there's like a lot going on there. But I do like doing the affirmation cards, because even if there's like that initial like I don't like that, it gives you information about how you're thinking or what you might need to adjust or change a belief system around. I'm gonna do my love deck. It's literally just cards about love all day long. Okay. Aww. Receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. Guys, I know I've had to get much better at this. When we feel like we don't deserve good things, that we have not added value or something, like when we believe that we don't deserve a good thing, when it comes into our energy, when it comes into our life, and it happens, we do not graciously accept it. We're like, no, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing this. I don't deserve it. Yeah, boy, that's definitely been an area of improvement for me. And I know I'm not alone. I see people with low self-esteem do this shit all the time. People with low self-esteem or beliefs that are not productive and helpful about who they are and how they should be in the world, how they have to be to deserve love. Oh my gosh, the accuracy. All right. Ooh, this one's a kitty. Okay, and then Hidden Night. Yo, this is hilarious how this happens. Okay, the Hidden Night. This is what it says. Do you have a lot of worrisome, repetitive thoughts? Have you noticed that you are extremely sensitive to the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and physical challenges of others? It's time to find mental peace and tranquility in your life. Take time to relieve your mind of the incessant chatter. Observe life in a detached manner and focus on what is truly important. This is weird. This is like a thinking reading. Yeah, so I want to say, I forget if it was a video or a post, but basically I talked about how, it's video, how I have been the genesis of most of the bad things that I have experienced. Not to say that I didn't experience bad things and it wasn't okay, but the way I was thinking about it and just churning and bringing it up and thinking about it repetitively over and over again because I'm trying to process this experience. I don't know how to contextualize, and just hurting myself. But at the same time, I'm definitely not like, oh, I'll just ignore it and move on because it didn't work. That stuff is still there. You can't hide it deep enough. All right, let's see what the cat side says. It says, I can comfort myself and feel nurtured. I can tell the difference between my feelings and the feelings of others. I'm compassionate and kind. Yeah, this is definitely for people with emotional codependent tendencies. When you grow up in a home where your emotional and physical safety is hugely dependent on your ability to read like a parent and figure out like how they're feeling, and you definitely get into usually when you see people talk about like empaths, that's the background we're talking about, where you've had to pay attention to keep yourself safe. Let's see. Ooh, this is from another YouTuber. She said, that's why they can treat other people like shit, because they feel like shit about themselves. This is one of those things that I did not truly get until recently. I want to say I did a post on it, but the idea that someone is their own karma for what they're doing, that there is, when we're sitting there waiting for justice, someone has done us wrong, we are waiting for like them to, receive consequences for their choices. The truth is that the reason they're doing what they're doing, the reason they're hurting people the way they're hurting people, is that they, in and of themselves, are not living in a good place. Donald Trump has to live with Donald Trump 24/7. He might put out a lot of pain and hostility and aggression and displays of dominance to make himself feel better. But the thing is, the reason he keeps doing it over and over again is because he doesn't feel that way, and he's trying to create external realities to make him feel that way. So he's already fucking miserable. And as I said in another video, it's, he's a victim of child abuse, who then was also a victim of wealth and privilege, and was never able to learn enough to be happy in himself. And that's honestly a really sad thing, in my opinion. All right, and the last one we're gonna do is, let's see. Oh, this is actually the same lady. Hilarious. Okay, so she starts off with, she's talking about people who are chronic overworkers. So basically, like, who just, think that they're going to find their value as a person, as a human being, like their worth, by chronically overworking. The energy surrounding that is that, like being in the toxic job or doing too much, is that I am not important. What's more important to me is proving to everyone around me that I can be successful and that I can work hard. It's so interesting how the choices we make in our lives are often about meeting emotional needs. We're the jobs we pick, or maybe degrees that we get, or often about meeting emotional needs or upholding belief systems. There's a lot more going on. This idea that people are just very logical. It's not typically borne out in how we make choices. Doesn't mean the logic doesn't come in. Typically after the fact, a very few of us go, let's look at the logic here and then come to a conclusion. Because the other thing too is we live in a world where we have value systems. And so your value system is going to impact what you prioritize. What's a good example? Abortion would be a good example of value systems and what outcomes are prioritized. So you can apply logic, but underlying everything is going to be a value system. Anyway, I hope this makes sense. It's really all about thinking. Anyway, talk to you next time.